Hello, hello. I'm just tagging a few people since my bestie can't help me out with that. Looking for some of our regular people who might want to join in. Okay, that's all I can tag for now. Hello, hello. Look at that. Some people be prompt tonight. I am good. I'm a little bit nervous. That's a good word for it. I don't usually let people watch me draw, sketch, color, They usually get to watch me color, but sketch and draw, I don't usually have people watch me do that. But we're going to do it tonight. So, jumping out of my comfort zone for sure. Hello, Ellen. I was waiting for you to pop in. So, what I did was I originally sketched out this cactus scene. I kind of made it in, I traced it in the Copic multi-liner just so you guys could see, but I don't want to color that one because I don't want it to have the black lines in it. I want it to just be like a no lines thing, so we're gonna have to sketch the whole thing in there again. So that's how we're gonna do it. So oh, you'll be more quiet, maybe. Okay, well, it'll be a little bit quiet in the beginning anyway because we're going to sketch this out. So anybody who's not interested in watching the whole thing come to life, just know that it's going to take me a bit to sketch out what we're going to color in Copics tonight. So it's going to be a long video. You can jump in and out or you can stay the whole time. It's up to you. I'm going to start with the W00 just because I want it to be light enough if I don't get it the way I want it, I'll be able to go over it again. So that's what we're going to do. So in order to start out, what I'm going to do is put the biggest cactus pretty close to the middle of the paper. And we're just going to go for it because that's the way I roll. I got some extra sheets right here in case I don't like it. Just kidding. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. You probably won't be able to see it too well on there. I mean, I'm trying to be in pretty good, but the ink is really, really light. Once I feel pretty comfortable with it, I will probably sketch it in a little bit darker color. But some of these things are gonna overlap. So I want it to be in the lightest color so the overlaps don't show. So this is how I sketched out the first one. So I just kind of get my shape in there. I definitely want that shape in there. And then I want this other cactus over here to be kind of small, but right here on the side. So this might change a little bit because, just like we don't color anything exactly the same, we also don't sketch anything exactly the same generally. So you won't see this line in here because this one is going to be in front of the other one. But that's kind of how it works. Hey, Julie. So over here on this side, I want to put this little pot with a little, I don't know if I'd call it more like a, what do you call them when, golly, my mind is escaping me right now. They're usually with cactus. I can't think of what they call them now, but you guys will know as soon as I start getting it sketched out here. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Hi, Jeanette. Hello. Hello, everyone. I might not see you pop on, but definitely, you know, if you have any questions or, you know, you can comment if you'd like, whatever you'd like to do. But I'm going to be, since I'm going to be sketching this out, I'm going to have to actually be looking at the paper and not at the screen to see. Succulents, that's it. I knew somebody would say it. So this one's going to be a little bit more of a succulent than the actual cacti. But, you know, they kind of go together. So we're going to put some together here. So again, they're not going to be perfect, and we might modify them a little as we go along, but this is going to be just the base starting point, which is what I want to do, is the starting point. So we'll just get a little bit of it going here. And so just give me a little bit to get this going. Can't really see the color all that well, I'm sure, so it's just kind of a little bit of a sketched in area. I will do more with it when we get with the Copics, but for now, this is just going to kind of give us the base of what we're going to go on. So I'm probably going to make these a little longer and out a little further, so that they don't look funny in here. So probably more like that. And then we need this little pot to put it in. So we're going to just kind of sketch out this little pot here. And I just want to get, you know, the basics going on. So that's generally how I come up with something. I just start, hi Heidi, I just start, you know, drawing it out, and it'll come to life when it's ready. This is going to be just a little pot today. Right here. And I'm probably going to put some little design on it like this, so we can get a little bit of bright color in there to go with the rest of our stuff. I wanted to put in a few little leaf branches right here. Kind of gonna look a little bit like a fern. A little bit. But the end of it will have this little circle on it, and then we'll have some more here. They'll get kind of smaller as they go down. They're a little off. They're not right next to each other, so they'll be a little bit, one will be higher than the other. This is just going to give us the basics. There we go. It might go a little bit more that way, but we'll figure that out as we go along. And then I want to put one that's kind of in the ground over here that's the same kind of little plant. These are plants from my head, so I don't have a name for them. I don't know what they would be called, but I liked them. I made them up. I'm sure I've seen them somewhere, like on Google or something, but I thought they'd be fun. So they're getting sketched in now. I want to go down a little bit further on this one more maybe, and then it'll just have the stem going down here, which I'll be okay with. And then I wanted to come up here, so this stem will be kind of off the page. And I want to put this one up a little bit higher. So it'll kind of go like this. And it'll have some of these coming off of it too. They don't have to be perfect right now. But just so long as we know kind of where we want to put them, we should be good. So it kind of starting to look just like our other, like the sample that I had drawn out before. I'm going to put some stones down here because I think stones go with this really well. So some will be big and some will be small. I'll probably put that one in front. Probably none right here. Then I'll put a couple here. So just kind of like it's in the garden, sort of. Sort of a garden look. Let's see. I do want them to go kind of in front of this little cactus. So I'm going to sketch in the big ones that I want. I want them to be in front of this one for sure. So we can draw those in a little bit more when we get to them, but this is the base of what we're going to do. So this kind of gives me the idea. So we kind of whipped that out. That was pretty good. And then this, the cactus is going to have these different lines on it. So I need these as my guidelines. Now that one will run into this big cactus that we're going to do right here. And then I kind of want to put the top of this cactus right there. So I am going to do the one off the side, and then they'll just keep going like this. And we'll color these in. They'll look pretty cool, I think. Anyway, that's the plan. We won't know till we get done just exactly how good that's going to look. But that's the idea. So this is just like doing a background, except we're doing the whole darn picture because we don't have any cactus at Sweet Sentiment. So we're just eyeballing it at this point, making our own. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the W0, which is going to give me, let me scoot this stuff over for you. I'll put them in this little thing so I don't knock them over. And now we're going to go in and we're just going to darken those lines a little bit on where we definitely want to be able to see it so that we can color it. So this is going to make it come a little bit more to life because it's a little bit darker. And then there'll be some lines that are on there that were just the sketch lines, and we'll cover those up as we color. So once we get this done, we can start coloring, which will be super fun. Got some good ideas for coloring these cactus, so kind of excited. Excited and nervous at the same time. I hope I got this. You guys have a lot of faith in me. I really love that. So what'd you guys have for dinner tonight? We had pizza from Pizza Hut. Okay, so I feel pretty good with that one. Alright, so So let's see if we can get this one in. This is my toughest one because I did a lot of erasing back and forth when I drew that original picture. So let's see if we can get this one in here really good. I want to come in there with this one. Hi, Heidi. Nobody's talking? Nobody had dinner? Nobody wants to talk about their dinner? Were you about as... I had wings with my pizza. Honey barbecue wings. Either I can't see y'all's comments or nobody's talking to me, but that's okay. I'll just keep talking while I'm sketching this out. And we'll get to coloring here in just a little bit. I think we need that to go up a little bit more and a couple of them coming out of here. One tiny one at the top. So there we go. They're all wrapped around each other. Probably want this one to come out like that. Well, we'll figure it out. And then I'm going to put these right here. And I'm just going to start the base of them. I'm not going to color all the rest of it. I just want to know where it is so I can see it. And same with this one. I need to be able to see that, where it's coming from. So I feel pretty good about that. Let's do this a little bit darker so I can actually see it. And give it this really sweet looking base. There we go. All right, so you guys can see that now, right? That's a rough sketch of what we're going to do tonight. So that was pretty fast. That didn't take quite as long as I thought it would take. So that's awesome. And we'll color some background and stuff in there as well when we get to that point. But I think the way that we're going to start, and I craft better without my jewelry on, so I'm going to take that off. Okay, so I think I'm going to start with this one right here. So I already chose some colors for it. I'm not going to line it with the black multi-liner. We're just going to roll with it like this. So I've got BG 99. I have BG 96. I have G 85. I have BG 93. Hey Mama, you missed me sketching it out. And BG 90. Okay, so we're going to start with 99. I want these colors to be on this cactus. So we're going to start it off sort of outlining that cactus with this color. So I'm not going to do the bottom part because I don't want the bottom of it. The rocks are going to overlap it. So I'm only going to go around the outside of it. Round the outside. Round the outside. If Jamie was here, she'd be singing. We know how she likes to sing songs when she's sketching. So here we go, building that framework for our cactus. I'm just smoothing it out a little bit right now. Since I don't have those artist lines to guide me, like the black lines to guide me, I wanted to go ahead and get it sketched out a little bit and smooth out those lines. So we're just kind of getting these lines in here. I think my husband got tired of listening to me talk and left the room. He left me all on my own. But hey, it's Friday, so no matter how long this takes us, we're good. And I even managed to get off work a little bit early so I could get my car inspected because registration's up this month. Sweet. Okay, so this looks a little funny, but it'll come to life. It'll be exciting. Okay, so this is going to be the base color for this one. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to go in real quick and sketch a few of these rocks so I can see where they are, so I can meet up the color where I want it to be. I need to be able to see them in there. So can you see what I'm doing? Putting those rocks in there. I need to be able to see where they are so I know how far down to color. This one's going to be here, sort of behind the other two. So we're going to put them on there like that. So that's really all I need to know about those right now, so I know how far down to come with this. Now there will be shadow around those rocks because they're leaning up against the cactus. So I'm going to go ahead and put this dark color in here, right here, where these rocks are. Just kind of bring that together. So now I can color in this piece right here. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. I'll put this over here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the next color. So BG96, let's see how dark that is compared to the one that we're using right now. So here's my little sample paper. Oh good, it's lighter. So I like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to lightly draw this in between line right here. It's going to look like a whole lot of lines, but it's going to be pretty awesome when it comes together. So for this cactus, what I want is I want this to be really deep dark, and I want the light to be in between. So we can give it a little bit of dimension is what I'm trying to do here. And I need to be able to see the difference between the light line and the dark line. So that's why I changed colors so I could practice that. So I could work and work and work. All right. So back to my dark shade, because with the dark shade I want to follow the darkest lines, which are these right here, okay, and I'm going to just come out from them just a teeny tiny bit. Can you see that? Let me see if I can turn it a little bit so you can see a little better. So I'm just doing these very, very fine brush strokes. I want to do it over that line that I built right there. And then I want to do it from this line as well. So it doesn't have to be even, it's nature. I also want to go this way. So I'm going to be overlapping, so this should be very, very dark. Coming on this side. And this is why I thought this would take a while, because we have a lot of detail to put in this picture, because we didn't have and artists give us black lines to use as a guide. So we are going to have to put those in ourselves. So each line I'm going to do this. And then this. I don't really want these to dry, so I'm going to do 4 inside sections at a time. So this will give me 1, 2, 3, 4. So I want 4 to do at a time. I don't want to get confused on where I'm at. Hi, Becky. I'm going to do a little bit up from the rocks because I want to keep that pretty dark. Okay. So it just looks funny now, almost like a melon. And then I'm going to move to this BG96. And again, I'm going to make these really tiny. Very, very tiny. And this time, I'm only going to go on one side. There we go. And then I'm going to take the next color, which is G85, still staying kind of in that dark. And this time I'm going to go on the other side. So last time I went here, this time I'm going to go here. And then it'll be a little bit lighter on one side and a little bit darker on the other, and that will show which direction the light is shining on this cactus. Okay, so the next one is going to be BG93. And this is where we're going to go in. We're just going to do a little bit of back and forth. We want to kind of cover up most of this because the last color, we're going to lighten it up. So I'll show you that in a minute. So generally, this type of cactus has some needles all over it, and we are going to do that. Those needles all over it. Can you guys see that pretty good? I'm hoping. Can't really zoom in much more. You won't be able to see what colors I'm using, but if you want to get to the replay, you can. I'm going to put it on YouTube. Now, I didn't get this one side dark enough, so I'm going to go back in with BG96 just in this one side right here. So I just don't think it's dark enough to give the effect I'm looking for. So now we have BG90, and BG90 is really, really light, and it really moves the ink around. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm just going to go along this area where the lightest amount is, blend all those colors together, but also open up a really light area. So you see that? I'm going to do that on each one. I want to keep those colors blended together, but I also want this really light area to show up. And it gives it a little bit of texture, so it kind of changes it, because look, it goes from this to this, which is super cool. So I'm just using this BG90 because it moves the ink around a bit, lightens things up for us. Okay, so now what we have to do is repeat that all the way around. So it's going to take a little bit, but we'll do it. So I realized though when I just did these 4 panels that I could probably do more because the ink stayed pretty wet. Small space. So we'll do the majority of it now. So I'm going to start on this side with those teeny tiny brush strokes from here as well. And from here, oh, there I go, flipping my marker again. I'm a marker flipper, I can't help it. I have no idea why I do that. But I'm putting these teeny tiny little things in here, but you see how they're leaving those uneven edges? That's what's giving me a lot of texture. So I want to make sure, I think I missed this one. I want to make sure I get that texture going. And this one, I want to keep that marker upright too, so I can keep my little strokes really tiny. See, when we get to these small spaces up here, we can do a lot at one time. I'm not going to put very many up there, just a few because it's such a tiny space. But as long as we have a little bit of uneven, we should be good. Are you guys excited to see what this whole thing is going to look like when we get done? I am, because I have no idea. I have not pre-colored this. I just drew it out the other night, but I have not ever colored this. So this is all new to me, just like it is to you. This is Sandy's artwork and coloring all in one, in progress, while I'm doing it. Create and color, create and color. Only for you guys. Okay, so I want a few of these to look like they have some straight ends real quick. So, okay, so hi Renska. We got all the way around it, so that was great. Can you bring the paper closer before and after adding the last light green? Yes, I can. Hello, hello. Ali Dallas, I think, if that's how you say it, but yes, I can. So before and after adding the last green, yes. Okay, so this is the one where I only went on one side with this marker. So one side here, and then I'll come back and do the other side with the second marker. I wish I could show you guys the envisioned picture I have in my head, because then you could see if it's coming out the same way or not, but I can't. So I'm going to stay on that same side all the way around. Okay, so there we go. It's already looking a little hairy. You know, these cacti, sometimes they look a little hairy. This one is G85. So the last one, I went down. This one, I'm going to go up from this side all the way around. It's just going to give it a little bit of a different color on each side. Not a whole lot that you'll notice, but enough. It'll be enough that in the finished project you'll notice it. I did spend some time cleaning markers and changing nibs in hopes that we would not have any problems with any markers tonight. But this is a lot of color and it's a lot of green. So hopefully we won't run into any issues and we'll be good. But we'll see how it all plays out. I know there's no judgment here. You guys are awesome to me, so I'm not worried about that. Okay, so the next one is, so at this point, we have 2 more colors left. This is right before we put the second to the last color on there. So we'll put the second to the last color, and this is the one where I'm going to do the back and forth. So I'm just going to kind of do the back and forth to put the base coat of this down. I'm not pressing it down really hard. I'm doing it pretty light. It doesn't need a lot of color because we're going to lighten it up with the next marker. But see, that felt like it took a while to get around there, but it really didn't. It really wasn't too bad. Look at us, we're getting a cactus on here. Okay, so now when I hold this one up, you're going to be able to see, okay, these are the 4 that I used the last color on. So you see how there isn't any definition in those, they're just kind of scattered. So when I use the last one, the BG90 that moves the ink around for us, I'm going to do that one just going straight up the middle like this. Just up and down, just kind of clear that one pointy area. You want to kind of give it a second to do it. You don't want to do it too much because you'll move too much away from it, and then you'll have to go back in with the dark colors and darken it up a bit. I have no idea what my husband is listening to out in the living room. He was like, "Are we going out on a date night tonight?" And I said, "No, dude." He goes, "Just tell him you can't do it live tonight." I said, I've been promising these cactus all week long. I'm doing these cactus. Date night tomorrow night. He was like, "All right." So you have to play around with your markers to learn which markers behave like this and give you that really nice line when you do this technique. There's the lower gray numbers will do it. If you do them the right way, the lower numbers will do it. Can you guys still see? I'm trying to stay there and still move my paper around. But once you get to practicing them, you start learning which ones will do it like that and which ones won't. So like sometimes you'll start coloring something and you'll add one of those light colors and it'll do this and you didn't intend for it to do it. You'll start learning which ones behave that way and which ones don't. And then you can use them to your advantage. Instead of feeling like, "Oh, I messed that one up." You can learn from it. And that's what I like about them is I know which ones do it, and those are the ones I use to get this cool technique. And I like this technique. Just make sure that you're staying basically in the same spot when you're moving back and forth like that. But when I hold it up, see how you can see a pretty defined line now where you couldn't before? And now we know that these pieces right here are what are sticking up to the sun, and the other ones are the ones that are regressed back from the sun. Goes from a watermelon to a cactus. Yep. And it will go even more when we use the, I'm going to use this pen, this gel pen, to put the little pokey things, you know, the little, whatever they call those. But once I put those on, then it'll look even more like a cactus. But yes, there you go. I guess I could do a watermelon similar to that if I made it bigger and did it a little bit different, but so those are those. Thank you. So those are those 5 colors for this really dark cactus. So for this one, I chose a little bit more greenish color, a little bit less of that dark. So this one had BG in it. These ones are going to have YG in it. So it's going to change the color up just a little bit. So this one's going to be YG 67, 63, and then I'm going to put this 03, YG 03, and then I'm going to go back to 61. So this one is going to do a little bit like we did with the other one, but it won't have so many. It's just going to have a couple of different lines on it. So I definitely want to go back with my W0, and I need to put one line in between here, just so I can see it, so I can see where it is. So that's what we're going to do with that one. So with this one, we're going to follow kind of that same thought process that we did with this one, but it's much bigger panels. So it's still going to look a little bit different, plus we chose different colors. So YG 67 is the bottom layer color. So that's the one that I'm going to outline with to kind of get my sketch going. So we're building our frame, but we're just not using a multi-liner for it. We're just actually doing it with the Copic markers to kind of give us the no lines effect. Definitely want these to meet up. Although they are prickly, so if we get a little bit of stuff going on here, we should be fine. I still think we'll be fine. So this one's a little bit thinner, so I'm going to just thicken this up now that I feel pretty good with this one. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to put these lines in here. So I definitely want those dark. But I'm not going to put one in the center. I just want these ones to be up here. Okay, so this is going to kind of give us that idea of what we're doing. And then I need to come back in with my W0 and fill in my rocks down here so I know how far down to go with the color. So I'm going to go ahead and build those back in. You know, we kind of sketched them with the lightest color, but now we're going to do them with this color so we can actually see them on there. Okay, those are the only ones I really need to have, although I do think I need one more, like down here. Just because we need some out of place. I mean, they can't all be in the right spot. Okay, so here we go. Are we ready for this? All right, so this middle one, I'm going to come in here with a lighter color, and I'm going to draw in this middle. I don't want it in the dark color, I just want it in the light one so I can keep up with which lines are which, because if I make them all the same color, I'll start getting confused. We don't want that. Nobody wants to be confused. Okay, so we're back to YG67, and this time we're going to do a little bit thicker, and we're going to just follow this line all the way up, just like we did with the other one, but we're going to want, where this one we left kind of jagged, we're going to really smooth this one out. We want this one to be much smoother, less jagged. So I'm putting my little marks, my little brush strokes really close together where I did not on the other one. Okay, I'm going to turn it a little bit. You can't seem to keep them alive. I don't have any cacti at my house, but I see them a lot when I go to Arizona to visit my son, because, you know, they're everywhere there. And I didn't even know until I visited him the first time in Arizona that the birds build houses inside the cactus. There's like holes in all the cactus up there. It's crazy. And then you just see these little birds flying out of them. It's crazy. It's not like anything I'd ever seen before. Okay, so getting down by these rocks, I want to go ahead and build that shadow area above the rocks. I'm going to go ahead and do that here too so I don't forget. And here. Okay. Interesting. Yes, there's always these humongous holes, and I was like, gosh, why do all the cactus look like they're dying? And he's like, and my son was like, they're not dying. The birds are living in them. Yes. Exactly. They're pretty neat though. They're always all different color. I mean, different sizes and different shapes. So this one I'm going completely over the last color so I can get this blended really, really well. So I'm going completely over the last color and extending out a little bit. I really want this to blend well together. I'm not coming out too far because we still have 2 more colors in the group, in the color group. But I am coming out a little bit further. I'm going to come down here, and if I do it in this direction, you guys can see a little better. And my hand's not in the way. You never knew that? Yeah, it's crazy. But they do. You can see their little heads sticking out sometimes. Sometimes you can hear them making a lot of noise. I don't know why they live in there. I think there's like, I don't know, water or some kind of cactus juice that they like. So they just make their nest in there. I don't know what like if you were learning about a cactus in school, I don't know what they would say the reason behind all of that is, but it's definitely interesting. Hey Jack, stop. Okay, YG03. Now this is going to be significantly lighter, so I'm going to go up at the top because I want you to be able to see it through that color as well. And I'm only going to go over the last color that I put in there. I don't want to go too far into the first color, because if I go too far into the first color, I'll lighten it up, and I want to keep that deep dark color there. Yeah, you haven't gone to Arizona with me to see Kyle yet, Mama. So you haven't seen them yet. All the birds in the cacti. I always know when I'm getting close though when I'm driving, because the cactus start showing up everywhere on the side of the road. And tumbleweed, you know, all that kind of stuff. Okay, Now I'm going to go over it just a little bit like this because I really want it to blend out that line. I don't want to see that line. So I'm just smoothing out where the line is still visible. Okay. So this is our last color coming up now, and it's going to be significantly lighter. It's YG61, and this is the one that I'm going to do that back and forth. I'm going to kind of tone down that color I just put in there a little bit and fill in the empty spaces. Touching up any space I haven't put enough color on. So sometimes this happens to you where it's really, really, really light, and you just have to keep going over that back and forth a little bit, and it will fill in that color. And if it doesn't, you can go back in with the last color and help it out a little bit, which I think I might do. Well, no, I think it's coming along. It might be okay. This one is very, very light, and it will also move the color. So I don't want to do that too much. So I think I am going to go back with the YG03 and kind of fill that in a little bit. It did cover it up pretty good, but when you're looking at it up close, you can really see that part right there that didn't fill in quite as well as I had hoped. So there we go. That's one panel. Now we have to repeat that 1, 2, 3 more times. So let's go. This is kind of doesn't it already make it look like it's a dimensional shape instead of just flat? This is YG67. Again. I'm trying not to go over that line where I put the color already dark because I don't want to darken it even more. So I'm trying to stay pretty close to that line. And I'm trying to keep it kind of straight too. But we're following the same process that we did earlier. And I am going to do a really light wall around this one, this other cactus, because he will be shading this one. Very close together. We want it really close together. So we're just going to keep going. And I'm fully aware that this is out of whack shape, but that's kind of how the cactus are, so I did that on purpose. I thought if I made it look straight, then it would look funny. You sure might see some in the future because, you know, hey. If this comes out really good, then, you know, I can just hear Jamie now. We need some cacti in the shop. But yes, I think we should have some because they're great for cards like, you know, hello, how are you doing? Or, you know, even birthday, or they're pretty good on sympathy cards if you're doing mass producing a bunch of them. They're pretty good on that. So remember with this one, we went all the way over where we put the first color and pulled it out a little bit further. So we're just repeating that process, and I'm going over only where I put this marker on this side of the line. Because again, I don't want to pull out any of that other line that I had going. That would make you very happy. I do like them. I do think that we should have some in the shop. I will mention that to her if she's not watching this and unable to comment. She looked like she was online when or at least, you know, awake when I got ready to start, so But I can't ever tell if she's watching, if she can't comment or like or anything. I think she still has another day. It makes me very sad. But did you see her? Did you see her background today on YouTube? I posted something about it. It was awesome. She did really awesome today. I loved the background. I can't wait to try it. This is the third color, so we gotta try not to touch that dark color. I did just now, but I'm not gonna do it anymore. We just want to touch the second color for this one. You're still here. Yay! It's coming together. I told you it'd be a long live, so I pre-warned of that nature. This is the biggest thing that we're coloring on the picture, so this will probably take the longest. Okay, so all right, we're starting to get there. And the theory is that when you have the cactus, these kind of cactus that the little things or pokey things are hanging off of here, and then this is really light on the inside. On this one, these are sticking out and these are inverted. I don't know why, but that's just the way it looks in the pictures. So that's the way we're coloring it. Kind of give it both a little bit different effect on both of them. So this is the YG 61, and this is where I'm going to go across in the back and forth motion to kind of tone down that really bright green, because I don't want this to be quite as bright green as it's showing up. Kind of make it match those sides a little bit better. There we go. I want to make sure I get these lines out of here real quick. So there we go. That's much better. I did get one spot that's a little bit too light, so again we'll go over it like we did with the last one, going back to YG03. And it's just this little spot right here. It's a little bit too light for me. And right there. So I barely touched the paper with that. Starting to look good. I like it. I like it. Okay. So back to YG67, and this time I'm going to try to do both of them at the same time to move along a little faster. We'll see. Okay. So same process. Not going over the other line. I want to keep this dark line in here, and I may go back and draw that line a little bit darker when we get done with the with this color, but I want to get this part done first. Okay, now from this side, I want this to look rounded. I'm going to get my my little strokes on the outside piece are going to be a little bit steeper. Kind of make that look a little more rounded on the outside. Looks like I need to smooth out my lines a little bit. I don't have those black lines on here, so I'm just fixing those a little bit. That's what that was. And then I'm going to go ahead and go down here and start from this side. We definitely don't want to go out of the lines. Definitely not. Definitely. Smoothing out that line a little bit. Okay. And keep going. I'm going to go extend this one a little bit because it's the top rounded part. Okay. Now I'm going to have to turn this one because otherwise I'm going to go over that other line and I don't want to. Okay, so here we go. Keeping us bumping up against this line. I sure am hoping this is going to turn out looking fantastic. Like our Jeep last night. I'm super happy with that Jeep from last night. I left it on my desk and looked at it all day today. I really like it. Okay. Alrighty, alrighty. Nice. Alright, next one, YG63. Here we go again. See, we're going to get this one done. This is going to be good. These are going to look a lot better when we put the little needles on them, but for now, we just have to imagine them. And I'm going to do them different on each one so they don't look the same. Now I'm doing this motion over and over again for this brush stroke, but I'm not pressing down on the paper, so as you can see, it's not bending the nib. Because I don't want to break down that nib. The more you bend that nib down, like the harder you press, the more fibers you're going to break, and then you'll have to replace the nibs. So you want to be pretty conscientious of that. I don't want this to have any spaces in between it, so. Okay, here we go. So if you're watching really close, you can see that I'm not bending the nib to put these lines in. It does help to hold down here a little bit more, but I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. But it does help to hold it closer. You have more control over where it's going, because I don't want to go outside the lines. Okay, one more with this color. This is meditative. You guys will have to chime in that you're still here every now and then, or I'll think I put you to sleep. I don't want to put you to sleep. Or maybe I do, if that's what you want. Okay, getting there, getting there. Yay, still here. Awesome. Alright, second to the last color. Here's our YG03. Going to do the same thing, but we're not going to go all the way out to the end on this one. Remember, we're just barely going to go over that last color. Now when I come back around with this one, all this will probably fill in with this color, because it's such a tiny spot. Yay, still here, still here, still here. Mama, you're staying up late tonight. Good for you. Sometimes that's what it takes. You want to watch a whole project come to life. Oops, almost forgot this side. Typical rookie mistake. We all remain rookies even after like 10 years of coloring. Still make rookie mistakes. Oh, yes it would. The gecko would have been great. I wasn't even thinking about that. Yes, it would have been really great. I could have drew this cactus right around him after we stamped him. Totally. That'll have to be next time. Okay, YG61. Alrighty, here we go. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. This is to smooth it out, tone it down a little bit so it's not so bright. Nice. You don't know how much longer? Well, that's okay. You can always watch the replay. And sometimes you get lucky and I show what the final project looked like the next night. Like I could show you Beep Beep Jeep if you guys missed it. It's kind of epic. I'm not gonna lie. It's Jurassic World. How could it not be? Okay, so now we're going to go in and kind of smooth out these little bit of lines here like we did with the other one. If we lighten anything up too light, we'll go back in with the second to last color. I almost don't think I need to do that on this side. I think I got this side pretty good. Okay. So this one got a little bit washed out right there. So I'm going to bring in the YG03 again and just kind of fill that in to kind of take that away. I don't want it to look like that. So I'm just going to smooth that out a bit. There we go. Much better, much better. So there we go. I think we need to come in with the YG67 and we're going to just do these points again. Just thicken this up in between. Because these are where the needles are going to come off of. So we need to really be able to see those. And I am not going to put it on the one in the middle. I'm only going to put it on these two. Like that. And I'm going to use the same color, YG63, that I did when I was doing this one. So they'll look a little, this one won't be quite as dark as the other two. Just smoothing this top part out just a little bit. There we go. Alrighty. So that's cactus number 2. Let's move on to this craziness right here. It is a lot of work getting them all. Well, they're all separate letters, but if you use the transfer, the weeding took the longest. But once I did all the weeding, I just used a little piece of transfer tape and stuck it all at one time. So it still took a long time, but it wasn't as bad as some people are like, you put every single one of those letters on there? No, I did them all. I did my whole name at one time. Okay, so I have all the colors picked out for the green stuff, but I do not have all the colors picked out for the rest of it. Okay, so this is YG17. Yeah. And this is YG45. And I think I need these reversed. I can't remember. Hold tight 1 second. I picked them up too fast. Okay, YG17, G24, and then YG45, and then G82, and then G21. So this is a whole lot of mixing up a whole bunch of different colors, but it'd be all right. And then we're going to throw these two in for the tips, since it's a little bit on the succulent side. So here we go. Time to do this one. Okay, So I'm going to start the outline with YG17. Oh, this one makes me a little bit nervous. I'm not gonna lie. My fear is on this one. I didn't have any fear on the other two, but my fear is that this is gonna be all, shape's gonna be all out of whack, but we'll see. We'll just wing it and see how it goes. I'm kind of sketching this in again with the green now that I know where I want to put everything at, and just kind of smoothing out those lines. Getting them the way that I want them. It's pretty easy to do that name. I just printed the name 375 times, so I'd have enough. And you'd be surprised. It doesn't really take as much to do that as it looks like it does. But it did take me 3 days to do it. But I was working at the time, so 3 evenings to do it. So I would have, oh no, I think I did it on the weekend, so it probably did take me 3 days to do it. Now this might be a little bit challenging to put that purple on these now that I outlined them in green. Dang it. That's what happens sometimes when you get to going with this. You forget about the little things. We still might be able to though, because I don't want them to be really purple. I want them to be like all different, you know. So we might be okay. We'll see. Alright, so now that I have like my basic sketch in there, I want this one to be significantly lighter than the other two. So what I'm going to do is go in and start doing like my shadow areas where I want the darkest places to be with this color. So I'm just going to start filling in some of these really shadowed areas. I do love my name on them though, because when I go somewhere, I always know if it's my marker that I lend them out. And not that people would take them on purpose, but when you have Copics and then you borrow one from someone, or you borrow 6 or 8 of them from someone, and you get to put them away, sometimes you just don't think about it, or you thought, oh, I had that one or whatever. But if my name is on it, then it's a big red flag, and they come to me and go, hey, here's your marker I borrowed. I'm like, thank you. So I haven't had any problems with any of them walking away because they have my name on them. Not that they couldn't take it off if they really, really wanted to, but I don't think people who craft with me like that are like that. I think it helps them remember which ones they borrowed. Otherwise they go, I know I borrowed some, what color was it? And I usually don't have my box with me when I travel far away. So I can't really tell you if I don't remember off the top of my head which one you borrowed from me. I can't remember which one it is. So then it becomes a struggle. So to make it easier, I just put my name on all of them. I usually start putting my name on some of the other stuff I take too, like the multi-liners. And other things like that, I will do that as well. I'll put my name on them. It just makes life easier for everybody. I did print some out for somebody one time when they were talking about it. Oh, I love those. I was like, oh, I could print them for you for, you know, small fee, whatever the materials cost and such. And they did it, and I mailed them to them, but I've never seen them. They've never showed me like they did it and they put them on there. I never saw that. Okay, so maybe when we start getting all this color in, Hi, Brenda. I think that I may have to go back in with this color. Ooh, look at me knocking my stuff over. And darken some of the underside, but we'll see how that goes. Hello, hello. It's Cactus Night. This one's G24. Oh, maybe we won't. This one might help us a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. This almost reminds me a little bit of like aloe vera. But this one is definitely going to have some purple in it. Because I just feel like doing that. And I can, if I want. They're my little cacti. So I'm really just keeping each shape and then extending out from where I put the last color, just to keep these going. Just a little bit bigger each time. I kind of want to put that purple in there, so I'm going to be careful not to touch too many of the tips. The good thing is the purples that I chose, I was pretty sure I was going to have to tone them down anyway, so it's okay that I put green on the outside of the plant. It's a little lopsided plant, but everything is lopsided in real life, right? Like no trees are exactly right. Okay, YG45. These are all quite different. So this one's going to be a little bit darker. I'm going to put some lines in here, extend them out a little bit. I want to give some texture to these. Could I have used this as one of the first colors? Yeah, but I didn't want it to all be this color. I wanted to just kind of throw this color in there. And so I like the way it's coming out. These are very long brush strokes right here. I want to keep them kind of consistent, so I'm having to do them really long. Jack, can you hear my dog? He's snoring, dreaming. We have 2 more colors to go after this. Yes, you can hear the dog. This one is G82. So this one's going to tone down a little bit. Back to that green. I'm doing it more on the side of the marker. I want to fill more at one time without going over and over and over it. I don't want to take any of my color or texture out. So I'm just kind of adding this one lightly. Notice I'm holding up really high on the marker, so I don't have a lot of control over where I'm putting those brush strokes. As long as I stay within those lines, I'm pretty happy with that. That is the plan. One more. Okay. Now before we do the last color, this is where I want to add a little bit of purple to those tips. And I want to do that before so I can go over it with the last color. So this is V01. V01 sounds like a really light color, but it's going to look, in contrast to this, it's going to look really bright. So I'm just going right over top of that green and then filling in some. each tip. There I go, flipping that marker again. I caught myself doing it. Most of the time I don't even notice I do it. Alright, this is going to be pretty. I'm going to like this purple on here. But then again, purple's my thing, so. Okay, so it's really different. So I am going to go in with this V quadruple 0 to soften up the interchange between the purple and the green. Just kind of softening that up. You know, this actual marker is kind of funny because the tip looks blue, but it doesn't paint that way on paper. Really weird. Have you ever had your marker do that? Look at that. Look. You see that? But it doesn't color blue. It colors the purple it's supposed to. See? But I don't know why it does that. Isn't that weird? It's really, really weird. This one. Okay. So now that we kind of blended it with that, purple is your favorite also. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to go in with the last green color and really tone down and blend up that purple. So I wanted that purple in there, but I didn't want it to be like really obvious. So I'm just kind of brushing through that. If we don't like that and we want to bring that purple back out, we can. But I thought it would be better if we really toned it down so it's just a really light touch of purple. So you don't want to touch the paper too heavily. There we go. So now we have a little bit of purple, but not too much. I think I might go with that quadruple, triple, whatever that is, and just kind of paint it in one more time. So I think that'll make it perfect. Kind of bring it out just a little bit, but not as bright and obnoxious as it was. Yeah, I like that. Soft, subtle, but there. You like them so far? They all have different texture. I like that part for sure, for sure. Okay, now like I said earlier, that's all the further I got was selecting my colors. So for this, these little stems right here, they're going to be green as well. But I think that in order to break it all up, I might need to use that that green, that olive green maybe. So the YG 97, 95, 93, 91 maybe. I don't know. We can try it. If we don't like it, we can always change it. Put something bright over it, and there you go. You like, you like, you like. Looking good. It's coming together for sure. YG 97. So that's going to be this stem right here. So these are almost going to look like just little brown kind of But we'll see how it goes. We have 2 other ones, but we can always make them different colors. Yay! I'm glad you guys like it. I was so worried when I started. So worried. So I'm just putting a little bit of thickening up on that color. I want to kind of put this underside that's not going to be in the sun a little bit thicker than the upper one. Usually you have that solid black line where if you go off a little bit, you can't really tell because you have that thick black line. But when you don't have that thick black line, ooh, eek, you gotta be careful. So it takes a little bit, it's a little bit more challenging to do this one. Do it like this, but fun and satisfying when you finish it up. Jack. Hey, stop that. He'll just go right back to doing it. I don't know why I even tell him not to. See? He didn't even make it. He didn't even make it 2 minutes and he's already snoring again. Hey. Stop it. He's been sleeping all day. I don't know why he's snoring so loud. He's been sleeping all day. Lazy Jack. And he sleeps with us all night. Silly boy. So we're just building him in. I know, right? Poor Jack. He must be exhausted. Just kind of building these leaves up. Just kind of drawing them in. They were already there in the very light gray. I'm just making them come together a little bit more here. Putting some shadow on there. So you could add this to anything. You could add these kinds of things to it. Oops, I'm almost off the paper. You could add these kinds of things to an ocean scene or, you know, floral scene. Just, I think I had one more on here. So it's just playing around with them, and, you know, it doesn't matter how they look because, you know, you can make them however you want. It's your tree. And in the real world, I mean, how often do you look at like a leaf like that and it's perfect everywhere? It's just not. Okay. So look, we got some color in there. We got that one started. We have 2 more over here, but for now, we're going to finish this one out. And I may change my mind. I may move from this olive color to a brighter color when I get to the last color to keep this a little bit more green, but maybe not. I don't know. I kind of like it. So we'll see. There's nothing wrong with an olive plant. It doesn't all have to be bright green. So just kind of smoothing out and transitioning to this next color. I'm going to do a little bit thicker on the bottom side because this is more in the shade. So just moving these along. Who'd have thought I'd be doing this? Jamie was like, you should color backgrounds, and I was like, oh, I don't think I can do that. And now, like, I build the whole thing. It's kind of fun though, don't you think? Watching a blank piece of paper come to life is really cool. So my pressure holding the marker is really, really light. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on this at all. You'll probably be able to tell if I flip the paper over. There's probably not a lot of bleed through on this part. Let's see. Yep, see? Not a lot. There's a lot on that one. All right, I'm liking how this one's coming out. I'm glad we chose these colors. Who knew? I just threw that out there. This one kind of starts turning, once you get to YG93, it starts turning a little bit more greenish, a little less olive. So it starts bringing that green color back in, which I really like. So this is a good combo. I like this combo. So I'm going to fill in most of this. We have one more color, but it's extremely light. Again, it's another one of those push the colors around. So I want to get most of this in so I can just touch it for the highlights. Oops, I got to concentrating and not chatting with you guys. I knew this was going to take us a bit, but I think we're doing pretty good on time. It's getting late. But we'll get there. I'm going to stay till it's done. You guys just stay as long as you want. That's why we did this on a Friday. Ooh, that's definitely pretty. Okay, one more color. I only chose 4 for this one. I didn't use the darkest tone. This is YG91. Just going to kind of fill the rest of that in. This is going to move some of that, give it a little bit of texture. Even some white spots. Again, I'm not using much pressure at all, so don't want to move a bunch of that around. Nice. All right. Give a teeny bit along the top here that I didn't touch with this one yet. There we go. All right. So now we have to do that 2 more times. Oh my goodness. We have I have 2 more over here. And then we have a pot, ground. Yeah, we got a little ways to go. The background, probably sky. So, we could do it blue, or we could, I was kind of thinking maybe a terracotta color, like it was against a wall, or I don't know. Can't decide. Can't decide. We have time to decide. Oops, I want to make sure I don't stick my head in the screen, because when I draw and when I color, I usually am pretty close to the paper. Or the iPad, whichever one I'm drawing on. Whichever one I'm working on. At the time. This is the underside one, so it's going to be a little bit thicker. gotta have one that goes alongside it. There we go. And we're gonna have another one that goes up here. We might as well get these drawn in real quick. This one comes all the way up here, about right there. It's going to be a little bit thicker on this side than on the other side. Okay, this one, the other side's kind of off the page. So it's going to go this way, down and off. Like that. There we go. Alright, now we got to draw this one. And then we get one here. And one here. Up there. There we go. One here. One here. Moving right along. I didn't choose to put too many on this one. One more here, and that was it. This should be a little bit thicker. Okay, this side. I don't like the shape of this one. There we go. One more right here. There we go. Now we gotta do this one. They're moving along a little bit faster than I thought. You have me on the table while you're playing cards. It's coming along, coming along. I like to play cards. It's fun. What are you playing? Rummy, poker, Uno, War, Crazy Eights, Go Fish, Uno. I got it. Wasn't the first one I guessed, but I got it. I haven't played card games in a while. When my nephew was having chemo, we used to go up there each time he had to go in the hospital for treatments and stuff. We used to go up there and play cards and games with him before the treatment started. That was a lot of fun, that family fun before the chemo, of course, because that part wasn't fun at all. But we did get to spend a lot of family time together. So we went up there every single time he was in there. Played card games with him. It was super fun. He's good now, though. I mean, I said that, but he's right now got clear scans, so he's doing pretty good. Okay, here we go. Color number 2. Okay, so we're going to shade these in here. Ooh, I'm going to be proud of this, I think, when we get done. It's coming out. It's coming out a little better than I was afraid it might not, but it's coming out a little better than I anticipated. If I felt like I had to, yeah, he's doing really good. I mean, he did, the second time he had it, he had to have his leg amputated. But he's doing really good. We're super proud of him. He's doing good. He's driving with one leg. He was meant for cool things, I think, in life. Because he beat a bunch of odds. We're super proud of him. He always had really good spirits, too. It's pretty impressive. And he's skiing on one leg. That's right, Mom. He is skiing on one leg, which is even more impressive. He doesn't let it hold him back, that's for sure. He wants to do the same stuff all the other kids are doing, so that's super great. It is a blessing. It definitely is. There were a lot of prayers went up for that, and they were answered in the best way we could have ever hoped for. Now we all just have to hope it doesn't ever come back. All right. About to move. Hi, Diane. You popped in. I see you. We're coloring some cactus tonight. Okay, now we're going to switch to this YG93. And YG93 is the one that brings a little bit more green than olive back into this. I'm going to take a drink real quick. I was getting dry mouth. All that talking to myself. Just kidding. Okay, so we're bringing that green color in. I'm leaving a little bit of white for that last color. We're starting to build these in. All right, so I know all of y'all are trying to draw this along with me, right? Good job. If you are, proud of you. If you're not, thanks for hanging in there while I'm coloring it, because this is taking quite a while. But it does help people understand how long it takes to do this, especially when you're drawing the image out as well. It does take quite a while. But in the end, so worth it. Kind of went out of the lines on that one, but that's all right. Drink lots of water? Yes, I do. I have water and I have leftover soda from the dinner. But I always have my water right here too, see? I gotta keep lots of water in my system. It just doesn't function properly without it. Did you guys know that we have a Digi release tomorrow? Yes, we do. 3 more digital images in the 3 more images in the Digi shop tomorrow. Tomorrow is digital release day. It's kind of exciting. Jamie too, yes, I know. We both need to drink more water. I drink a lot of water. It doesn't seem to curve the issue, but I still drink it anyway, hoping that I know you know what's going on. I have a doctor's appointment on April 5th to check it out. See what's up. See if we can figure out why. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. My girl Jamie, I think she was feeling a little better today. I'm happy about that. Now if we can just get her out of jail. Any hints on the digital release? Well, I mean, it is technically Saturday, right? So it is technically the release, right? Can we say that? Can we do that? Does it work that way? I can tell you they're things you've seen before. This time we decided to give you some surprises. It won't always be that way, but this time we decided to do that. Okay, here we go. Keep that little bit of light color around the edge. Just barely color that white so it's not stark white, but it's still light. All right, we are getting there. Yes, we are. Look at that. Man. She won't get upset. She can't say anything. She can't get upset. She's sleeping anyway. She'd never know. Oh, well, she'd know in the morning because she watches my live every morning while she's waiting on coffee. While she's drinking her coffee. All right, so where we go next? Pot. I think we're going to have some browns in here and stuff. So I think we should make this pot kind of, I know, right? We should make this pot kind of almost like a terracotta-ish, orangey kind of, I don't know. Maybe we should blend some of that orange in since Tyler did that today. Let's see if we can mix these. Let's see what these colors will look like together if we throw them together. Okay. We're just going to throw a few colors together and see how it goes. How about this one? Let's see. And this one. Ooh, like that. Let's see if we can keep that rolling. How about this one? Nice. Okay, and this one, that one goes back a little bit to the orangey. I think this one's going to be too orange. Yeah. It might look good mixing it in though if we need to. But let's go with these 4. So kind of like them. E99. YR27. YR24. And E97. So this one doesn't have my name on it because I just got it. The orangey terracotta-ish. And we can do this little design I put on here in a different color. But it needs to match the terracotta-ish color. So maybe, like, how about, I bet this would go well with it. Like, how about something like this? We can make the stripe this color and the pot the other color. What do you think? like a bluish color. Because we got a little line right here. I think we should do that. I'm going to put this one aside and start with this one. No, we're going to start with the orange. But this one is BG 78, 75, 72, and we'll throw 71 in there if we want. But we're going to start with this one. But yes, we're going to do it those two colors. I think that'll be good. Okay, so this is where we're going to have to start forming this little pot right here. So I'm going to start by doing this part right here that's closest to that little succulent. Okay, so we got to get that. We got to get that. And then I want to form the lip around the top. So we're going to put this around. See, you can actually draw with these Copic markers, huh? Pretty cool. So here we go. Kind of want that to be a little bit on the curved side. Stop. There's a rock right there. I should put those rocks back in so we can see them. Okay, so we have one rock right here. We had one right here, but now instead of being in front of the thing, it's going to be behind it. This one right here. Okay, so now we can see where the rocks are. So this one was supposed to be in front of the pot, but now it's going to be behind the pot. Because I already drew the pot down that far. But hey, no one else is going to know that except for me and you. Because you're here. Okay. So I'm going to kind of fill this in a little bit right here because I'm going to want that to be darker. In this side. I want to go around this rock. I want to make the bottom of it pretty dark too. Around this rock. Oops. I want to go right here where I'm going to put that. I'm going to go ahead and put in that stripe that I want to be blue. Jack. Hi, Dotsy. I'm going to go like around the pot like this because I want it to look rounded, so I need to do the sides like that to give it that round shape. I'm also going to do this a little bit thicker here and underneath this part. Just trying to shape this, form this pot out a little bit. Trying to give it a little bit of shape. Okay, so we're getting there. Jack! Goodness gracious, dude. We're going to actually have to come in with some dirt and stuff to put inside that pot. But we can do that in a little bit. Okay. Better late than never. You got that right. We're not done yet. You're still seeing some of it in progress. So we used the Copic markers to sketch everything in, and now we're just filling it out, coloring it up. Okay, so this is YR27, so this one kind of changes it to a little bit more orangey. A little bit more on the terracotta side. You're digging it? Yay! Hi, Jill. Look, we got some people popping in now. I told everybody it was going to take a long time, so they can come pop in and out whenever. I should watch my power on my phone though and make sure that it doesn't say low power. I had it pretty fully charged almost before we started, so I think I should be okay. But we'll see. Ooh, can you guys hear Jack sawing some logs, man? There we go. All right, so let's move to YR24. Okay, this one's going to put a little bit of yellow in it, but our last color will change it. It's more peachy, so it'll kind of change it back to the terracotta-ish color. So I feel okay with it. All right, I like this. It's pretty. Jack is always sleeping at my feet, and that's why you can hear him. It will be on YouTube, yes. So you can watch it again. You can try to recreate it with me. This is E97. And this is the last color, so I'm going to do that back and forth, and this is going to bring it back to that really good terracotta color that we were looking for. Did you see that magic happen? Awesome, right? Look at that. It went right to the color I wanted it to be. Welcome, night owls. I'm a night owl too, so watch this. One more time. Ready? The back and forth makes it the terracotta color we were looking for. Super cool, huh? Did you see that happen? That was magic. Did you see that? There we go. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Whoop, whoop. This is gonna look good. I'm glad we picked those dark colors to go in here because I already drew that in that color. I didn't skip that line, but we can go over that with this BG78 and it will be fine. So here we go. We're just putting a stripe on the pot. It sounds funny when I say it, huh? Okay. So I built that little fence, wall, whatever you want to call it. And now I'm just colored out from that. And that's how we prevent from going outside the lines. It's really good. You like it? Woohoo! Okay, so we're going to do the same thing on this side. I told you we were going all out. I'm not sure I could top this one in the future. But you never know. I pull out cool ideas all the time. That's why I do all the 3D projects. So always trying to think out of the box. I want to extend these a little bit because I want to keep this color kind of dark. So I'm just extending it, but I'm doing it really, really light. You can tell that it gets much lighter when I lift it up here. That'll help with the blend as well. So we're going to go into, we only have 3 colors, BG75 this time. Kind of going over the whole thing. I want that to blend pretty well. Okay, so now we have one light area. We're going to go over with BG72 is our next color. So I'm liking how that pot came out. super happy with that. Gonna do that back and forth. That helps blend those colors together really well. There we go. I like that. I think I need a little bit more right there. Okie dokie. So now we need to put a little bit of dirt in here. And I think in order to do that, we need to use like some pretty dark-ish dirt. So I think we should try some of these. And we may use this for our rocks as well. 57. 55, 35, 33. Doesn't really matter which sequence I'm doing these in, so I don't have to test it, because I'm actually going to be doing that little stipple thing in there, so it looks like dirt and rocks and whatever inside there. So I'm just doing real teeny tiny little dots. You see them? They're really tiny. I don't want to do a whole lot of them in the dark color. And then we'll save this combo for some rocks. We're going to do the rocks different colors, but we got to get this in there. So I'm just kind of starting to fill these in a little bit. That little dot technique right there. And then actually, I was going to use these 4 colors, but I think instead of 35 and 33, I think I'm just going to switch straight to 31, because I kind of like that. I kind of think that looks really neat. But the 31, I want to fill in a little bit more of the white space. So I needed to go significantly lighter, so that's why I decided to skip the other colors and just fill in. And then there we go. So now that really does look like dirt in there, so I'm happy with that too. All right. So now we have to do our rocks and our ground. So I need to fill in the rest of these rocks with the W0 so I can see where they are. I mean, I can see them, but you guys probably can't see them because they're so light. So I'm going to go ahead and fill those in so I can see them better. I think we had one right here, and I just got green on my pen. So I had to wipe it off. There we go. I'm going to want that to be a dark rock. Okay, so let's get these rocks filled in here. Now we know whenever we see rocks, they can be all different colors. So I'm going to start off by using these ones that we just used in the pot. But I'm going to do these 3 first and see how they go. 57, 55, 35. And we'll see how that plays out. And if we need to add to it, we can. But let's just see. Okay. So we're going to kind of come in here. And I want to put these colors on this side. So we're going to come in here. And let's just start with this rock right here. So this one is behind that one. So we're going to do it like this. We want to get some shadowy there. Want to come in here. I'm doing this very sporadically because the rocks always have weird texture. And then 55. These are definitely going to take a little bit to get them to blend together, but they're going to look cool, I think. And then this 35. There we go. So now we got one. But this color was kind of dark, so it sort of washed it out. So I need to put in a little bit more like shadowing and a little bit more texture in there. We'll go back in with our 55 one more time. Kind of brush that out a little bit so it doesn't look so obvious. Okay, so there we go. Okay, let's go in with some W rocks as well. So I'm going to go a little bit darker. This one is W4. Significantly darker than what this one is. I want the bottom of it's going to be a little bit shadowed. And this one is W3. It's a little bit lighter than the last color. And then W1. It's a whole lot lighter than the last one. And the 00 for texture. Oops, is that my 00? It is. Okay, so the 00 for texture, I'm just going to do little dots on here, and it's going to change some of the texture of that to make it look a little more like a rock, a little less like a dot. So let's repeat that for several of them. I'm going to just randomly pick them in here. This is W4. I like how this one came out. This color grouped together. I like to just put some little squigglies in there. This is W3. Just kind of want those rocks to look bumpy and uneven, and this is W1, kind of washed out in some spots and kind of dark in some spots. That's kind of the plan. And then this one is W00, which is where we're gonna just pat on the paper to kind of wash out some of the spots and give a little texture. See? Better. That's how we do it. We just randomly throw dots in there and it all just comes together. So we need a few in this one too, I think. Flipping back and forth, this is W1, that was W3, now this is 1 to kind of bring out those darker spots. And this is 00 to dot around there and give it texture. Okay, so we need a few more of these, so I'm going to keep going. I'm going to pick some more gray rocks, and then we're going to change colors. So let's do this one. So this is our W4 again. And then we're going to have like some random little dots in there. Then we go to W3, which is a little bit lighter than the last one. So we're going to kind of expand on some of those little dots. Then we're going to come to W1. That's where we go around the outside. Kind of starts blending those colors together a little bit. And then the last one that we'd use is W00, and that's where we start dotting around in there for texture and blend. And then we have another rock. We need a couple more, some in here. We'll have 2 or 3 different color rocks down there just to be different. Okay, here we go. We got one right here. And I have no reason why I'm choosing where the rocks are going. I'm just randomly pinking them. Just random. I'm going to put this one right here. Looks like I'm picking all the ones that are in front. Okay. Let's see. Maybe that's all I want of gray. Okay. Then we go to W3. Again, filling in a little more space, kind of making those little dots a little more deeper. Same thing with this one, filling this in a little bit, making these a little deeper. Definitely want to get some color up there. W1. This is where we go round the outside, round the outside. Start filling in a little bit more around the outside, filling that in a little more, and then we're going to come in with that 0, 0 to do the texture, make it look like rocks. I'm just dotting it on there because it makes the color move around, but not solidly, so it won't be a smooth movement. It'll be kind of a random one, sort of like rocks. There we go. Nice. Okay, so that was those 4 colors. Now I'm going to put some 33, 31, and I think I'm going to go with 30 as well. So let's try some like that. That'll give us a little bit of color down here. Let's try one over here first. How about this one? There we go. A little bit different than the last color. I like that. Kind of some shading back here. We're going to sort of follow that same thing. We want to show a little bit of marks in them. If we have to, we can come with the darker color and make those look more pronounced, but we'll see. We might not have to. Okay, so bringing this one in a little bit further around that side. We only have 3 colors this time. So 3 shades for this one. And then 30 is the one that we go around dotting up to give it texture. Nice. Okay, let's roll with that. We need a few of those. 33. Let's do this one. I have you live. My stepson is gaming live and my grandson is on the VR fighting. Yeah, you do have a crazy house, but it sounds like fun. And look, I want to be the entertainment for most of the evening. So hey everybody. If you'll catch the rest of the morning, alrighty. It's coming along though. This is what we have so far. We're gonna keep going. I think once we get to like the background and stuff, it'll go a lot faster. I mean, even these rocks aren't too bad. We just gotta fill them in. Gotta fill them in, fill them in, fill them in. Okay, let's do one right here. I think this one's in front of it. So want to be careful to that. Be cautious of that. That looks like a face. You see that face? Good night, Mama. She's ahead of us on time, so it's way later for her. So I'm surprised she made it as long as she did. It's way later there than it is here. But it is Friday night, so I don't have to go to sleep early. Okay, here we go with the dot for the texture. Okay, so that one's pretty good too. Let's see, let's put one more in there. Let's put it over here by this really dark one we got going on over here. Yeah, that's gonna work. I like that. Jack's not happy about me being up late because he's starting to snore again. I hear his breathing got heavier, so I know that means he's gonna get falling asleep. E31. E31. E30 is the last one. Yep, he's starting to snore again. I can hear it. If you listen carefully, you'll hear my husband sit on Jamie's chair. Are you about to sit there? Oh, you're not. Sometimes you can hear it. I think I'm going to do one more. I think I need one more in here. I think I need this one right here. I want it behind this one. That heavy side. Alright, here we go. This is 31. When I'm not live and I'm coloring, I always hold the cap in my hand, which is why I like to have this, because it reminds me to put the cap down. But I do always hold the cap in my hand. Okay, the dotting to give the texture, and then I'm done with these three colors. I need different colors. I think I need, let's see, I think I need something like, let's try to put this in there, maybe this. Let's see, I have to test it because I've never done this combo before. So I just have to test it and see what I think. I like that. All right, let's roll with it. E53. Make it this one. Are you painting something over there, honey? I can smell it.
Yeah, I'm doing the leather dye.
He's painting costume pieces, and I can smell the paint when he does that. So if I start saying weird stuff, it's because my husband started painting. I can smell it. Okay, so you know what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna go in with this E70, and I'm gonna actually deepen these colors a little bit, and then I'll go in with this 51 last to do the dotting. I think that'll make it look better. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. I think we need to get a little bit more down up in here. There we go. It's a little bit lighter than the other ones we were doing, so we can put a few of those in there. This is 53. I'll put it here. Now I'm second guessing myself on why I put this many rocks. Like if I hadn't put this many rocks, I wouldn't have to color this many rocks. Oh well. It is what it is. He's 70. This E70 is a whole different ballpark from what color I put down already. Okay. E51. We'll blend that all together. Give it some texture. Nice. I say one more like that, and then we move on to a different color. Maybe we'll move into a different tone of gray. Because we have so many. We have 4 different tries at gray. Okay, here we go. Right, so this one's underneath. This is the 70, which I'm going to use to actually emphasize more of that. We're also going to fill some in, go over the light parts. Let's see if we can get 51. There we go. That's doing what I want. There we go. I want to go round the outside again. Okay. There we go. All right. So let's move to some grays. Let's do like a cool gray. And we'll do it just a little bit darker. This time I'm going to do 531 instead of 4. So let's do this one right here. The big one out front. That was C5, and this is C3. Oh my gosh, did that shut off for you guys? Okay, I have low power, so give me 1 second. I'm going to plug in so we don't get lost while we're doing this. I have to actually lift my plug base up to on top of my markers because it doesn't reach. One moment. We definitely don't want to lose power. Give me 1 second. It froze. That's because the little notification popped up and said low power. But I'm plugged in now, so we should be good. Yay. Okay. So I was with C3, and now I'm going to move to C1. And I'm going to do the dots again. Ooh, and I like that different. Look at how different that is. That's the W's and that's the C's. I like that. Okay, well, let's put one of them over here. fill this in. Maybe we should do this one at the same time. We can do two at one time. That's the less number of times I have to open the caps of these markers. Just keep them all open at the same time. There we go. Then we go to C3, the next one. So we're building up from where we put the C5. Gonna make these dark spots a little bit bigger. Going around the outside. Smoothing out that color over where I put the dark spots, making them bigger. Same thing. And then we're going to use C1. I'm going to go in there with the dot effect. On this side as well. Okay. Nice. Okay, so we should put this one right, we have one right here that I had drawn in. We need that one as well. So we'll go ahead and do that one. In this color as well. And then we may have to come in with, for this one, and do that dark color, because I think that'll bring that together. Okay, so this is the C3. I just want to make sure I had the right marker in my hand. Okay, and then the C1 and dot. Bring that. Okay. Now we're going to go back to the 57, 55, and I think we went down to 31. We'll see. I can't remember. It's all right though. It's all good. Okay, so let's see if we can kind of shape that out a little better. There we go. We're just trying to form that shape just a little bit better. So I think I might have originally drawn 2 rocks right there, but now we're just going to do 1. Then we're going to switch to 55. Just kind of blending this out because it's a big jump from one color to the next. Dang it! Why is it not charging? I need it to charge. It should be. Did it freeze again? I'm sorry. I gotta plug this in one more time and see if it works. Gosh, I hope we don't lose. There we go. I hope we don't lose it. All right. It popped up and said low power again. I don't know why I plugged it in. Okay, so the last part should be fairly quickly because it's just the outside, the background, and I don't want to overpower the background to ruin what we have. So, doing that. I don't know why it keeps doing that to me. I'll try to watch for that. Okay, so I decided to use E74, which is going to make this a little bit more like either a whole all dirt ground or just kind of maybe a table area or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll play with the colors and see what happens. But right now what I'm doing is just filling in that shadowish area right here underneath the rocks in the pot. Yeah, it froze again. It keeps saying low battery, and I don't know if that's just because it isn't charging fast enough or if it isn't charging at all. I can't tell. But it says 20%, and I think we could get this done before 20% ends up. And it just might say that a couple more times, but I'm trying to watch for it. I had it charged up pretty good before we started. So I'm hoping it makes it. But I won't finish it without you guys. So I'm just kind of filling this out, giving us some, you know, platform here, ground here, dirt. Because you know they don't really have grass usually wherever the cactus are, so just kind of trying to fill out areas where I think the most shading would be. I think I'm going to use the back of this marker just for the edge of the paper. It's okay if I get it on my mat. It's a glass mat after all. Okay. And this will be a little bit lighter when I flip to the 71. Yes, I am going to add the prickly things. Yep. I'm going to add it to both of these. They're going to be different colors though. I'm going to just use this part. See if I can get this to come in as dirt. That's what I was hoping for right there. Yeah, I like the way this looks. It interacts with each other really well, these E74. See how cool that looks? I really like that. So I'm super stoked about that. That turned out really well. I am. These cactus have to have those prickly things. So I think I need a little bit more of this 74 on here. To kind of shadow that a little bit more up there close. Kind of washed it out a little bit. I'm just adding a little bit more of this one, and then I'll go in one more time with the 71. But not all the way up there, just in some spots, so it's lighter in some spots and darker in others. There we go. So see? I like that. There we go. Super cool. Okay. So for the background, blue. I don't know. So while I'm thinking about the background, okay, I have those ready. Those are what we're going to use to make the pricklies. Yes, blue. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so I'm going to go really, really light. So I think I'm going to use these 3 blues. They're the really, really light ones. So this is B00. This is B000. And this is B quadruple 0. So I want it to be really, really light. Yes, light, light blue. That's what I think too. Okay. So this is B00. And I'm going to do it, I think I should do it, I don't know. We're going to start with this one. We go around here a little bit. Okay, we got to be really careful not to touch the plants. It looks really, really bright, so I don't think I'm going to put too much of this because I really don't want it to be quite that bright. But when we come in with the lighter colors, it'll wash it out a little bit. I am going to put a little bit up here, along here. I'll kind of keep this, sort of putting it in there, just kind of random. But we will, let me come out just a little bit so you guys can see a little bit more of what I'm doing. Since I'm going all the way around this little map, we want to put a little bit in here. And then maybe some in here. Okay, so starting to come together a little bit here. Okay, let's go ahead and do close to these rocks, close to this pot, and around that. Now, as we use these other colors, we'll start blending that out. So 000 is the next one, and I want to cover a little bit more space, more area faster, so I'm going to try to use this. See how well they blend together? So yeah, they'll be super easy to bring that together. We'll leave some spots for the really light color. Gonna have to take this off because I need to get in here. In here. In between here. We don't need a lot, just a little bit. We just need enough that it looks like we colored in between every single one of those lines. That's what we need. Okay, like that. I'm gonna use this because it's pointed, and I think it'll make it easier for me to get in between those little spaces. We're getting there. I gotta turn it this way because I don't want to, and that's why we use the Copic holder. I'm trying to hold the table still too because it sure is earthquaking, you guys. I'm a liking. Oh, really? On the VR? We have a VR at home. I have not done that. I have done the ocean. It's pretty cool. We have done the ocean exploration, whatever you call it. That was pretty cool too. But we don't have any games really that we play on the VR. I only play one video game currently. Animal Crossing. Although I do like Fruit Ninja. Although I look pretty silly doing it. But it's a lot of fun. silly fun. Okay, just getting us some color in there. I kind of like how it's not consistent around the background, like it's darker here and lighter there. Almost looks like a painting. I really like that. So I'm going to keep going because I'm pretty happy with how it's coming out right now. Good thing I filled these really light blue ones up before the live, or we'd be in trouble right now. Notice I have to keep switching between the two for the small areas. See, it's a good thing we did these early on, so it gave them time to dry, so you wouldn't pick them up as quickly. Nice. When you use the that sounds hilarious. Oh my gosh. I wish I could see that. That's so funny. Better watch out. Those velociraptors come in groups. They're not by themselves. They attack in teams. So if he's hiding from one, there's probably another one. They're pack hunters. Wow. I'm afraid to say it, so I'm not going to say it. But I'm going to say it when I finish doing this background. What do we think so far? I knew it would. Yeah, I told you. They're pack hunters. I know my dinosaurs. This one is B quadruple 0. So I'm just going to put a little bit in here. I'm not going to go all around all the flowers like I did before. This is just going to kind of lighten it up a little bit in some spots and kind of give it that wash look because I like it. And I think it needs it. Pretty super cool already though. I kind of like it. Almost don't even want to touch it. What do you think? I love it. Okay, so now I bet you guys are dying to see how we're going to do all the little spotty things on these cactus. So this one has a whole bunch of them on there. This one for the desk for sure. Okay, so I thought it would be super awesome to do it with this gold gel pen. So we're going to do it like this because this one has big lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of them. And then we're going to go down and just put them everywhere. And they're look at that. Isn't that cool? Because these ones have the spikes everywhere, all over it. And I thought, what better to do that than with the gold one, with the gold pen, because then you can really see them. Starting to come together. Isn't that cool looking? kind of making them V's, either doing one on each side, or I'm doing the whole side and then the other side. Either way, there's so many of these prickly things on this cactus that it's just gonna look amazing no matter how many you put or how you put them. I mean, who would have thought, right? Look at that. Super cool. Yeah, hold on one second. I'm gonna hold it up for you as soon as I finish putting all these little thingies on there. Yep, I am gonna hold it up. Hold on. Almost there. Now, I think most people would have maybe used a white pen or something, but for this one, I just thought the gold would look amazing. It's kind of scary to do it because you're like, I worked so hard on that. I don't want to mess it up. Wait, hold on. I need some a little bit lower. Okay, here we go. Ready? You see that? That's super cool, huh? That's awesome. Okay, so now that one really will look different than this one because this one I want to do with the black one or white one. I can't decide. Hold on, let me test. I think it needs to be the black. Yep, I think I'm gonna go with the black. You can go with the ones that you want, but I think I'm going to go with the black. And this one has less. So this one just has a few, like, throughout it. It doesn't have them like this one. I probably could have used a little bit thicker multi-liner maybe. I can always go over it again. But this one's not the same as the other one, so that's why I wanted to use different different colors when I did it. And then this one, he's got some over here as well. I'll show you just a moment. So then that one has them on there just around there a little bit. Can you see them? It's easier to see it when you, I might have need to use a little bit darker a little bit thicker multi-liner. So that was a 1. Let's do the 0.3. And let's just go over where I put them already and just make them darker. Yeah, I think it needed to be a little bit darker, because now you'll really be able to see them. And it's fine because they're just little spiky things, so if there's some little ones and some big ones, it'll be fine. Now you can see them much better. I agree. Like, oh yeah, you can see them now. There we go. How about that? I have no sentiment to put on it. I'm sorry. I like it darker better too. That's it. We did the whole thing. I can't believe we did that much. I think I'm going to do just a little bit more darker in here. Not a lot, but I feel like it needs just a teeny bit more. Like down here. And like right here. I just feel like it needs just a little bit more. Like that. And see, you can't even see any of the lines that I drew in there that I didn't go over exactly. So we just, and it all looks real. Super cool, huh? So I hope you liked that. I hope you enjoyed that. I will probably put it on my desk for a little while and see what I think. It was a long haul. You guys stuck with me. I'm so proud of you for making it through. See, you guys could do this too. It wasn't that hard. It's a few lines here and there. Well, maybe that one was a bit challenging, but the other ones, that's a circle, and that's like a bat, and that's like, it's pretty easy. You guys can do it. You guys can do it. I know you can. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I will see you guys on Monday for something new. If there's anything you want to see colored up, just make a suggestion and I will do it, just like I did this one because Ellen asked me to do some cactus. So if there's anything you ever want to see, just let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys on Monday at 10 p.m. Thanks again. Good night.